Yo, hey guys, got a question or a comment by Black Cat Monty, so shout out for you. Let's read it out because this is really going to be the topic of this video. Carl, your latest video regarding compression is very good. ... Don't just point us towards singing success though, and its 4 billion exercises. Let us know which ones actually worked, at least for you. So I'm going to broadly go into today which ones worked for me, why they worked, but the answers aren't necessarily going to be what you might expect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a few of these Singing Success 360 CDs in terms of go through specifically what exercises they've chosen and why for that particular CD, and try and explain to you some of the broader context that these exercises are moving you towards, because often people just hear an exercise like a b or a g or a wee or whatever it is, and they think that's so abstract. How on earth does that apply to practical singing? And this does relate a little bit to the debate I recently had with R&B singing, which was largely successful. Go back and I'll link that after this video, or it's in the description. Talking about different topics, but this idea of, you know, exercises and scales can be so abstract. Like, how do they apply to singing? What is this working on? So we'll go into that a little bit today and go through 3 CDs. These are the technique CDs on Singing Success 360. We're going to go through high notes, vocal power, and light voice, and really just discuss in a little bit more detail what are these exercises actually doing. So let's start with technique lesson 2, discovering high notes. So I'm going to just go through the exercises and just name them, so we've got a sense of what we're going through. So first we've got humming, and this is high notes, humming, lip rolls. Then we've got trumpet, neigh, and mum. Yeah. So what you got to keep in mind is each CD or each folder, if you might have the MP3s, you might have the CDs, whichever, is taking you from a start point to a finish point, and it has a goal in mind. Yeah. So this high notes CD, we start with humming. Everything is going behind the soft palate. Yeah. And a lot of these CDs will allow you to release the voice first and then work towards more presence, and that typically involves more resonance dropping out the mouth. So a lot of these CDs, we'll notice as we go through here, lead you from establishing release in the voice, towards establishing presence and more power in the voice. Yeah? And the way you do that is you start by dropping the soft palate and making sure that all the sound is drifting up into the head cavity, and the hum and the lip roll all lead you towards release first. So with Singing Success in particular, and a lot with my teaching, a lot of SLS teachers will emphasize release before power. Yeah? The reason they do that is because without release, you're never going to sound good. And a lot of singers, when they belt or they sing loud, they lose release. Good singing is a marriage of release and closure. And that is one thing that Singing Success and SLS get particularly right, is that they understand this marriage and how it works. So, humming, lip rolls, all helping you establish that nice sending that sound behind the soft palate into the head cavity, helps you release into head voice. Now, after that, we've got this trumpet sound. Let me just have a quick listen, because I didn't actually go through this particular exercise on this CD and listen to the example. Okay. Now again, this sound is a split I've got and but you notice it's a split, whereas the lip rolls are more split out into head or in the back, and the humming is all in the head cavity. So we've gone all in the head cavity, a slight split in the lip roll, but the bias is towards the head, towards now a split, but the mouth's closed, so it helps us to not show preference to the mouth. But you'll notice 3 stages. We're coming more out the mouth gradually, baby steps. Now, then we've got a nay, 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 nay. So we've gone from ooh to nay, 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 which again is and a mixed. Nay, nay, nay. A split of resonance, but again, we're graduating out the mouth. Now to a mum, 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 mum. The last exercise will be a split 50-50 of resonance on a ma. Yeah? So high notes, what is the graduation? What is the broader picture on this CD? It is establishing release and then gradually letting the resonance come out the mouth without compromising the release, which would be ma 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 ma. It'd be the yell. Ma 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 ma, where we've got a split. Ma 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 ma. Yeah. So this is the broader context of this particular folder. Now, which scales worked for me? I don't know. The point is that it's not one particular scale. Let's move on to vocal power, and we'll notice some similar things and we'll notice some different things. Right. So, we've got establishing the hum. Hum into vocal fry. Hum, hum, hum. What we're doing, establishing release, making sure that sound is going into the head cavity, yeah? This all helps us to not show preference to the mouth as a resonator, which is typically what happens when we yell, yeah? Now, next, vocal fry to chest. Let me just listen to this one. I want to make sure. Some of the, I typically do mastering mix. It contains the same exercises largely, but it's a little bit different in its focus. So some of these exercises aren't in mastering mix, like the trumpet sound, and like this particular one, vocal fry to chest, I'm not sure is in it. Okay, so this is very low in chest, and it's establishing some vocal fry at the bottom of the range. So vocal power, we've started with some release on the hum to vocal fry. Now we've gone from to all to a vocal fry. Both of these are doing two things, helping to establish some making sure that we've got that nice shift up to head. That probably won't go very high, that scale is my guess, but we're always making sure we've got some of that going on so that we're releasing into head, and we're not isolating the mouth. Next, vocal fry to chest, O to vocal fry at the bottom. Now this vocal fry at the bottom, what is it helping us do? It's helping us to make sure that as we go down in our range, that we don't lose compression. Yeah? What happens typically in the low end for people who don't understand closure very well is they have they lose compression. Yeah? One thing you need to understand if you want vocal power is maintaining consistent core closure or compression, however you want to describe it. And if you can't do it low in chest, yeah, 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 whatever the scale is, I'm not bothered. The point is, if you can't establish consistent closure in chest, then you've got very little chance of establishing it higher up in your range. So just this in itself, vocal fry on a low scale, yeah, 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 even compression, which is a skill that we need if we want vocal power, versus yeah, 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 a loss of compression at the bottom. If a student can't do this, it shows a lack of understanding in terms of closure and how we need to apply it. Lip rolls again, establishing release. Now, these last few scales, very key, because they are again a graduation, but we'll notice that they're a more aggressive graduation than in the previous CD. So we've got no, no. We've got no, no, no first. Let me just have a listen. We've got no, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's low for me, that. No, 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 no. Right. No. So we've got no to goog to boob. Yeah? Now, no is a relatively even split. No, 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 ma, ma, ma. It's basically one down from a mum. Little bit, tiny bit more preference to the mouth, but no, no. Then we've got goog, and then we've got boob. Yeah? Both of these help us to build compression into the voice. No, no. It's a medium level of compression. Medium to high, maybe. Goog, goog helps us to establish more compression. And a boo, 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 boo. Very squeezed, yeah? Squeezed in the sense of thick compression. Not necessarily in the sense that it lacks release. It should still be released even with a lot of compression. But the goal here is to graduate from a hum and from from a hum towards a thicker level of compression on a bu, the graduation. It's a grey graduation from one to the other. And to help build some closure and compression and a goo, 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 and squeeze into the voice. The right kind of squeeze. Yeah? So which exercise helped me? I don't know. You tell me. Again, it's the progression of exercises that helps. It's what they're leading you towards that helps. It's not each individual exercise, yeah? As you get better, you can pick and choose exercises, but especially as a beginner or an intermediate, you have to allow that the teacher knows what they're doing and understands what they're doing better than you do. Now, light voice. We're going to just go through this one and talk about the graduation. So we've got wee. We've got a lot of heady exercises to start with. We've got like a wee 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 wee. Heady sounds, yeah. Got wee. Let me just listen. Pulling down head. Okay. We basically got like a this kind of thing, yeah? So we're establishing light, precise closure in the voice on these wees and woo, 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 woo. The closure's right here. If I was talking to you with this closure, it would be like this. I'm talking in my same accent as I normally would, but the closure's very light. Yeah? Closure's very light. It's not like this. So we have to master using our voice on this compression level at all parts of our range. Yeah? That's basically what it's working on. If you can talk like this, and you can talk like this, and you can talk like this, that proves you've got some closure skills in your chest voice, but you need those closure skills throughout your range. So this is helping building into the lighter part of your compression skills, I guess you'd call it. But again, we've got a progression of exercises towards, so we start with wee wee wee, these pure heady sounds. Then we go towards an NG, yeah? And just listen to the first one. Okay, we've got like a scale jump on a Now, what is an NG? An NG is just a hum with the mouth open. Yeah? So we've gone from wee 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 to a hum with the mouth open. And then we start to open the mouth on the last two exercises. But you'll notice the application's different on these. We've got like a this n exercise, which is like an oo with a little bit of closure. Yeah? It's right here. Yeah? It's a little bit more closure than the wee 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 and this is really where there's genius in these progressions of exercises, because you don't even understand this stuff, but you're going from a very light amount of closure right here to right here. Wee wee wee. Listen to the difference. Wee 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 wee. No 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 no. Listen to the difference between those two. Yeah? You need a lot of precision to be able to graduate between those two exercises in exactly the right way. Yeah? Wee 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 wee. No. Wee 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 wee. No 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 no. No no no. Wee 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 wee. No 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 no. No no no. Yeah? And again, on the last one, we have a mum, but it's not really a mixed mum. It's a mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. It's there, yeah? So the progression here is going from very heady sounds to a compression level that is just a little bit more than that, just towards the mid-range compression-wise. And I'm talking about range on the horizontal here, not on the vertical. Yeah? So whilst we build pitch with singing success, we also build this sense of leaning into compression gradually. Yeah, and I had this discussion with a student recently. What it is this, is all these exercises, and again, which exercise helped me? You tell me. The idea is that the progression helps you, because you start to understand the subtleties and nuances that need to happen in order to lean in gradually, lean in a little bit, push a little bit here. You know, it gives you just this sense of subtlety and precision in what you're doing, just through the progression of exercises themselves. So it's never one exercise, it's never one thing. It's a lot of things combined and brought together in different ways, on different CDs, on different groups of exercises that lead you in different directions and give you this sense of space to work within as a singer. Now, as my final analogy, what I will say is, or my final explanation is, what most people have is typically they have a reasonable amount of range in my experience. But what they don't have is the ability to use that range and combine it with different levels of closure. Most people either have just airy nothingness, everything's relaxed, or yeah, they don't have the nuance in the closure skills. And the Singing Success program gives you that nuance. It gives you this it It gives you the ability to squeeze rather than on or off. You're squeezing into the compression gradually. So in summary, all three of these lead you towards, broadly speaking, three things. Yeah? I want to make the point of. They're all leading you towards a gradual increase in compression and closure without too much. Yeah? They're all leading you towards a nuanced understanding of closure. They're also all leading you towards establishing release first and then closure on top of that release, and thinking about closure and release as a marriage rather than two things that most singers have to compromise on. Either they sing freely but light and in a heady quality, or they sing with a lot of presence but it feels a bit pushed, a bit squeezed. Yeah? The whole idea with Singing Success and SLS is that you marry compression and release, and you don't have to make the choice anymore, or at least as much as is humanly possible. There's always some compromise and balance between closure and release. The more closure you have, the more work it takes to maintain some release in the sound. But that marriage should be based on physical limits, not technical limits as in your knowledge, which is broadly speaking where most people trip up. It's their ability and their skills and their technique that limits them, so they don't have this marriage. Once they've got the skills and the technique and the ability, then the physical limits come into play. But most singers that are learning are nowhere near those physical limits. So the marriage of release and closure, the nuanced understanding of closure, all these things combined with a skill in terms of your pitch. So this has been a long video, really. Don't know how long it's gone on for, 23 minutes. But I wanted to really break down just a few of these CDs, give you some ideas in terms of, I get this kind of comment all the time, and no criticism to Black Cat Monty. You know, people are looking for, oh, what are the, you know, what's the one thing that helped you? And there isn't one thing. It's a lot of different things that came together. And when you look at these CDs and you start to understand them in the way I've described today, you start to think, hang on a sec. Maybe some of these coaches know a little bit more than I do. Maybe they've got an understanding that's better than I have. And I'm not saying this in a bigoted way or in a way that is, you know, blowing my own trumpet. What I'm saying is that just because I sat there and grinded out these exercises for years and sat there and frankly had very little life for a long time, I was able to sit down and think all these things through and make a lot of sense of it all in my head. And that's why I'm sitting here explaining it to you, because unfortunately there's not many guys out there that can sit down and really break this stuff down, A, B, C, and make it so simple like I can. You know, and that's a gift I have. For various reasons, largely because of a lot of different experiences I've had in my life have led me to this point. But I can save you a lot of time and basically shortcut you into all these explanations, shortcut you into all this understanding. And when you go back and do the exercises, you're not thinking which one's going to be that silver bullet. You're thinking, right, I need to really understand what's the progression I'm looking for here. What is the gradual grey movement from white to black? Rather than from white to black, I'm looking for that graduation, that massive grey area all the time. Yeah? What are the details that I'm trying to learn here? What are the things I'm missing? Can I make this progression more smooth? Every time it's smoother. Every time I do this CD or this folder, can I make that transition between different compression levels very, very smooth, very, very subtle, very controlled, this kind of thing, yeah? All these kinds of ideas are going to lead you towards better singing, whereas which is the exercise that's going to fix my voice is a lot less likely to, because it's not going to be one thing, it's going to be a lot of different things coming together, and then the end result is great singing. Again, I spoke about this recently. You think of your singing as an iceberg, yeah? What you hear when I sing is just the tip. You hear the end result. You don't hear all of the knowledge and background that's gone into that, because, you know, it would take me hours, like it does on these videos, to explain it to you. But the point is, don't take everything on face value. When you hear someone sing, understand there's more going on. There's a story there. And with these exercises and these CDs, there's a story that you're trying to learn. You're trying to learn the progression. You're trying to learn the tale, so to speak. And, you know, if you can really grasp and understand some of the things I'm talking about in this video, you're going to do yourself a lot of favors as a singer. You're going to start understanding that there's not one thing that's going to fix your voice. There are certainly single things that might give you a big jump forward or feel that way, but in the long term, when you look back, as you master your voice, you'll look back and realize there wasn't ever really one thing. It was just a bunch of things done for a long time, thought about for a long time, committed to and believed in and had faith in for a long time. And in a lot of ways, the journey to mastery as a singer is a journey of faith, because you're basically on a whim. Very few people have done it. Very few people understand it. Very few people really know what they're talking about. And you want to get very good at this thing that is so, you know, someone messaged me today or emailed me just yesterday or today saying, let me just find it actually. Yeah. Just saying about the YouTube community of singing teachers, and he's watched hundreds of YouTube videos, tried lots of different singing programs, and man, the singing education world is a mess! ! And it is, and you have to basically go wade around that mess and try and figure out, you know, pull a needle out the haystack. It's tough, man. Very, very tough. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I hope this video has given you some more deeper level of understanding about the Singing Success program, what it's about, why these exercises work, what they're trying to achieve, and why thinking about finding that one exercise or that couple of exercises that are going to fix you isn't really the right approach. Thank you so much to Black Cat Monty for that comment, because it really made me think about this, and this will probably be a very useful video to a few people out there that make it to the end and really are serious about what they're doing. So enjoy, guys, and I'll see you again. Bye! Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want my help personally, you can book a one-on-one training session. Drop me a message. My email is in the description. And if you feel like this message was of value, then please feel free to make a donation equal to that value. Again, donation link is in the description. And finally, please share this video with other singers you know. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in another video. Bye!